Facts only boxing. So what was initially looking like a little bit of a risky move of putting Josh Kelly in with someone as experienced and awkward as Carlos Molina has obviously paid off big time because Josh Kelly made Carlos Molina look levels below him. Very impressive performance. On paper, Carlos Molina has much more experience. He doesn't do anything particularly well, so he can be beaten. But just him having operated at that high level, former world champion, and he's not that old yet. So on paper, I thought this is a bit of an awkward match. I've never seen anyone actually look good against Carlos Molina. He just has that awkward style, and that's just the kind of fighter he is. But Josh Kelly did what he needed to do and looked good doing it. So really not much to be said. He won every minute of every round. Yeah, it was just a quick start. He got in control early, and then from there, Carlos Molina just didn't have anything to bring back. I think Carlos Molina's game plan was to take him deep, but he didn't make the investments you need to make to have something to cash out on deep into the fight. So it was just really cruising from Josh Kelly. Just looking at the fight, thinking, what would I do if I had to fight him? What could I do to beat him? Where are the holes in his game? They're not very many. He's very fundamentally sound. I know some people will say, "Oh, he's got his hands down," but you're not going to be able to take advantage of that. You have to find a way. I think personally, my way of if I had to fight Josh Kelly, I would look to punch with him and capitalize off any luck I get. So I'm throwing with him when he throws those hooks. If there was a left hook, I'm throwing a left hook, and I might be able to catch him and jump on him. Other than that, he's going to be a very tough fighter to beat, especially with his size in the welterweight division. If he stays at welter, past Spence's reign, it's very hard to beat someone who's that technically good and that big at the weight. So he could go all the way up to world level. Obviously, we don't want to start putting him in virtual matchups against the likes of Thurman, Spence, Crawford, those kind of guys. He's not there yet. He's 6-0. But for his level, I think he'll run through the European scene, and we probably won't see him challenged properly for a year or two. Next fight, what would I like to see? Obviously, he's fighting on June 16th up in the Northeast on a card that's headlined by himself and Lewis Ritson. I think they'll get an opponent that he'll be able to easily stop, but I'd like to see him work his way up the rankings. Fight Tamuka Mucha. That'd be a good one, because you win that, you're mandatory near enough for the British title. Then if Bradley Skeet's got it or passes on it, you can fight for that. So I think that would be a good kind of way to progress from where it is, because to be fair, there's not much point in seeing him in with guys who haven't got a chance anymore. We want to see him pushed, and we want to see him kind of respond to people who are ambitious and believe they can win pretty much. So yeah, Tamuka Mucha, June 16th up in the Northeast, would be a good next opponent. If not him, then fight someone who's in the top 5 of the British rankings, so you at least get in mandatory position, and then when Bradley Skeet decides to vacate or stay in the division, you're in line for it. That would be the move I'd like to see for Josh Kelly, but we'll see how it goes. Facts only boxing.